Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Did the COVID restrictions to the Philippines help or hurt your LDR? I can only feel for those who wanted to go to the Philippines maybe sometime in 2020, 2021, early 2022, but were against getting the COVID vaccine because they were shut out of entering the Philippines, although that is not the case as of now. But I was just wondering, I feel bad for those guys because I know them personally. They want to go. Some of them ready to go except for the vaccine, but they just were not willing to do that. And so they're thinking, is this going to be another year, another 2 years, another 5 years? Is it going to be permanent? Do I get the vaccine? Well, you don't have to worry about it now, but could it have been an advantage to some people to go through this unwanted wait? If somebody had, let's say, a 2 or 3 year relationship going, well, then, they'd want to get right out there and meet them. But it could help the person who needs more time to get to know the other person, the Filipina. I'm talking about Philippines because I married a woman from the Philippines back in 2015, and I didn't have to go through any of this mumbo jumbo with COVID restrictions that some people have had to endure for the last 2 years. So if you've needed more time to get to know the person, to earn their trust, to maybe talk to some family members and friends, well, then it helped you because you need more time. Now, my website that mysterious one, Mr. E, made for me, it's called lvbts.com. Up there at the resources tab, there's 4 sets of questions, a lot of questions for different stages of the relationship to make it easier to get to know someone. And so that you're asking the appropriate questions at the appropriate time for that relationship. So you don't get far ahead, too fast, or ask, inappropriate questions. So if you need more time to talk to them, that was good. It might slow you down and prevent you from making, a mistake. It also can help if you feel like you have a good chance to go down and marry somebody in the Philippines, but you're going to have some money, and you start asking around, what are the flights and hotels, and maybe you start thinking ahead to one of the visa types, fiancé visa, spousal visa. I used a spousal visa. And so you need some more time to get that information if you're serious, and to save money, not even just for the trip, but for after the trip as you start your new life. You bring a Filipina over to your country. So you might be in the category of, this was a good thing, actually. For me, you might say to yourself, that the COVID restrictions happened. However, it would hurt those that had been in a relationship for a while and they're ready to go. It's just that they hadn't got around to making that decision, or maybe they did, and all of a sudden the Philippines mandated COVID or nothing, COVID vaccine or you can't go, and then they weren't able to. Well, that poses some problems. One, it stops a lot of positive momentum you had with somebody, and maybe you've reached, let's say, the stage 4 of those questions that I have on lvbts.com on the resource tab, and it's like, well, for us to move on forward, we need to meet in person, but I can't. I'm not willing to, at this time, get the COVID vaccine to go down there, and boy, for some that could even make them feel a little guilty and have to deal with that because you didn't know what the government was going to decide. So if you are ready to meet somebody, that would be a negative thing. It also, for those that haven't really met somebody, they might give them more time with this delay to end up with a scammer, or enough scammers that they get the impression there are no good women in the Philippines, and that would not be true. There are. They also might be forced to just give up, depending on their age and their steadfastness with not getting the COVID vaccine. Some people might just give up. So I want to know from you, this COVID restriction that was going on 2020, 21, early 22, Has it helped or hurt your relationship with a Filipina or any long distance relationship? But the good thing is, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, those restrictions have been lifted. So now you can make a decision. You're not restricted by the government. So Love Beyond the Sea is here to help people understand that they can find a good wife in the Philippines. Doesn't mean they're all good candidates. You must sort them out. Don't give money. Don't give in to requests for money. And I think be serious about a marriage, and don't be super, super picky. And I think you'll be able to find love beyond the sea.